Mabuhay! Para sa mga Pilipino na kasama natin ngayon, magandang araw, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Tayo po ay mag-aalas 4 ng umaga ngayon sa Pilipinas at maraming salamat sa pagsali o pagdalo sa ating Kahoot event ngayong umaga. Okay, sige. Tayo po ay magsimula. So, how is everyone doing? Shout out to all of the awesome educators, parents, and students who are joining this event. It is an honor to be here today to share a piece of my teacher story with all of you. You see, I have started exploring Kahoot in the year 2014. Kahoot was the first ever game-based technology platform that was used in our school. Historical as it may seem, Kahoot has never failed us up to this day. Over the years, it is observable that Kahoot kept on updating its features to suit the needs of their clientele. In this teacher story, I will be introducing Kahoot Connect, keeping the connection alive even in an online setup, where I and my colleagues Binibining Darlene Faye Escama and Binibining Reca May Martinez, with the guidance of our supervisor, Ginang Flor Vergara de la Rosa, have been collaborating with in teaching Ibong Adarna, a Filipino classic literature. My name is May Baisa Versoza, a former Filipino language and civics culture grade school teacher, and currently a Filipino language high school teacher at the Immaculate Conception Academy, an 86-year-old institution run by the Missionary Sisters of the Immaculate Conception. Greetings to our school president, Sister Irene N. Ferrer, MIC, to Miss Shirley Tan, our grade school principal, and to Mrs. Catherine Joyce Ang, our high school principal. Saying hello too to the student well-being team and to all my colleagues, most especially to all my students and the entire ICA community. You are my inspiration in this teaching vocation. To start off, let me ask you a question. What is your most unforgettable moment with your students when COVID-19 hasn't arrived in our lives? Yes, I am sure you also have a couple of beautiful and successful stories to tell. And I would like to share with you this photo. This was my last Teacher's Day photo with my senior high school ABM advisory class in the academic year 2019-2020. That was before the pandemic. My students were all happy for being successful in setting up a surprise class honoring for us, their teachers. This was also the year of their prom. That's why they're all excited this year. And among the other fun activities that kept the student body active were the high school intramurals, school fair, social entrepreneurship bazaar. These are just to name a few. As a backgrounder, students and teachers in the Philippines are naturally warm and tactile. We are fond of chatting, doing projects and activities together, and just having fun accomplishing things. But when the pandemic came, it was very challenging for the entire school community to adjust to the new normal. Schooling had a sudden shift into an online hybrid modality, something that nobody in our country was able to predict. Now, in this other photo, you will see my students, the members of the Social Action Student Staff or SASS in yellow shirts, together with the Sampaguita vendor kids who, at a very young age, these kids would accompany their mothers to sell Sampaguita garlands in the vicinity of our school. This photo was taken from one of our outreach activities held for the kids every Saturday, and that's why it's called Sampaguita Saturdays. Here, the members of the SASS prepared game-based lessons and activities for the Sampaguita kids held at the school gazebo. Aside from this, the students, in collaboration with their teachers, have also conducted tree planting activities and charity fairs, all of which are student-led. Isn't that amazing? And these were the highlights of my teacher's story before the pandemic. But I still vividly remember last March 2020, when President Rodrigo Roa Duterte announced to the public that face-to-face schooling will have to stop to protect the entire school community from contracting the COVID-19 virus. We were about to have the final examinations in a face-to-face setting then, but due to the sudden suspension of classes, we had to recalibrate the assessments to be able to complete the year-end deliverables. And there were lots of questions and fears that arose during that moment. Questions like, will our school close like hundreds of private schools over the country? This is just one of the major fears of the school community. Then, fortunately, with the enthusiasm, dynamism, and creativity of our school leaders, they were able to come up with a platform that will transform our learning into an online hybrid modality. And 2 months after after that suspension, teachers have started to report back to work, where we conducted meetings and attended webinars about online distance learning. And then in July 2020, we have officially started schooling in an online learning setup. This new modality is a very big challenge for the stakeholders, and we had to learn to take care of ourselves and check on our students' disposition as well. And one of the most challenging aspects of this learning modality is keeping the connection secure between the teacher and the students to make sure that we, especially our students, will survive the situation. So the schedules, the nature of assessments, and even the grading system had to change. And we became more intentional in watching over our students' good well-being. Teachers, who are also parents like me, would need to take multiple roles in doing the online teaching, while at the same time caring for our kids at home. By the way, this is my daughter, Bernice, and as a teacher at my school and a learning partner for my daughter at home, I was able to ease the pathway to this totally new modality with the help of a powerful, fun, and engaging tool, Kahoot. Thankfully, we have discovered an awesome possibility to stay connected with the kids, even in an online setup. You see, as a school community, we have this belief that the emotional well-being of the students is truly important, especially during this time. And here we wanted to make sure that the tools and the teachers are using are already familiar with them. And having Kahoot for quite a long time, we discovered the added benefits of Kahooting through frequent check-ins, or we call it kumustahan. Various socio-emotional learning Kahoots are available for teachers that we included in our regular check-ins. Not only that, we have also included socio-emotional content and question prompts in between the lesson discussions. We also were able to create a climate where community building and connection with peers and classmates is really strong. I am pleased to share with you the whole Kahoot community, how the teachers and students in my school were able to keep the connection alive in our online hybrid classroom by incorporating SEL in each Kahoot teaching session. We were also able to use varied ways to introduce and develop our content, from textbooks to stimulating media like GIFs, slides, photos, audio notes in these Kahoot sessions. Our exit tickets are also done in many creative ways within Kahoot. As mentioned, This technique suits the name Kahoot Connect because we are able to incorporate the aspects of SEL as well as the three phases of our lessons in a single Kahoot. Now, let me show you one sample of our Kahoot check-in or kumustahan that we do in our Kahoot Connect sessions. And it says, ano ang pakiramdam mo ngayon? How do you feel today? By simply asking this question before moving on to the next phase of our lesson, we were already able to connect with our students. And by the way, our school is scheduled to be visited by a group of accreditors in a couple of days. I, together with my teammates, Binibining Recame Martinez and Binibining Darlene Faye Escama, I'm very proud to showcase the use of Kahoot Connect on the said visit. And as I end, let me emphasize that from the typical 40-minute class time via video conferencing, we have transformed our classroom dynamics into an awesome Kahoot Connect sessions, where we use Kahoot on all phases of our lessons. Kahoot has been effective to prompt motivation and supporting syntheses and discussions, as well as sharing reflections in a fun and engaging manner. As a matter of fact, we do not mind pausing and discussing the responses of the students, doing follow-up questions, and exchanging reactions and feedbacks from classmates in between each Kahoot session. So that's it, friends. Thank you for listening, and I hope that I was able to empower, validate, and appreciate you, my fellow educators, by sharing a piece of my teacher story with you, a story that hopefully will remind you all that even in this seemingly distant world, we have a home that keeps us connected. We have Kahoot, our home. Mabuhay!